As a small biz pro, so we grow. Using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
And good afternoon and welcome to the Business Zone. We are happy to have you here. It is Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I am Crystal Mitchell, co host of the Business Zone, and Gilbert Buchanan, he is my other co host. But today, Gilbert is ill. He has COVID, as I mentioned to you last week. This week he's in the hospital, so we want to send out lots of prayers for him so he can get well. And so today I have a guest co host, and he is Mr. Armand Santos. He's a digital consultant. So we got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about digital entrepreneurship and how you make money online. This is the future, and so this is where we're going. And he's got some exciting information to talk to you about, and new platforms that are going to launch at the beginning of the year. So we're kind of excited about that. He's also, in addition to being a co-host, a guest co-host, he's also one of my business partners. I have a lot. You guys have noticed.
You have a lot of business partners.
I have a lot of business partners, but they augment what I do, so it makes us it works for all of us, right? So
That's correct.
we support each other and we support each other's business, and they bring a certain element to my business, and I hope I bring a certain element to their business. So I'm excited to have you, Armand. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I
All it
want
took
to
was
share.
all it took was getting Gilbert on his deathbed, pretty much, right?
I know how poor baby. He'll be back though. I'm fighting for him to be back. But on a serious note, Gilbert, I think I mentioned to you, Armand, that Gilbert was one of the individuals that when the pandemic hit, Gilbert went into isolation and he did not come out. And
Hmm.
he played it extremely safe, probably more so than anyone. And then all of a sudden, he thinks it's safe to come out. He gets his vaccinations, and both of them, he was fully vaccinated, went to a friend's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and voila, he got infected, and
Yep.
he is not a happy camper because the friend took it very lightly, and he gonna get well just so he can come out to curse the friend out. I think that's
He
what's good.
popped his head out once, and all of a sudden, boom! Right?
Right, all of a sudden he was in, and so he's pretty ill. I finally talked him into going to the hospital yesterday, and
Is he there right now? Are you still in the hospital?
he's in the hospital. He went on Thursday, and there was just no more he could do at home to take care of himself. And so I insisted. I kept calling, making sure. And so he went there. And so today, when they got there, they ran a series of tests. So he has, I think, a double pneumonia.
Oh God!
Definitely had COVID. They had told him that if he had not been vaccinated, he would not be alive,
Good
and
Lord!
so it's pretty serious. And yesterday, when I spoke to him, his blood pressure was fluctuating, and that's the seriousness of COVID. I think if you don't know if you have underlying conditions, you
Hmm.
don't know, right? Because you may be feeling okay, you may have a couple of little things and you ignore them, but you don't know the severity, or COVID seems to, from what my understanding is, it seems to go after the weakest part of your body. And so if you're not aware of what those are, and so I do know in the past he's had some blood pressure issues, and so now yesterday they were trying to get it controlled. So send out lots of prayers for my brother, and we want to get him back here on the platform. We want to get him back in our community because he works hard for our small businesses as well. And so much love, Mr. Gilbert. We are praying for you that you're gonna be back, and you're gonna be back here and doing the things, the work that you love to do. So just want everyone to know that. So Armand, how have you been?
I too have been hermiting this whole pandemic. You know, we just jump right into digital entrepreneurship. As you know, you'd mentioned that that this is the future, and I
Mm-hmm.
just got to say the future is now, right? It's not as if we're prepping for something that's coming. Some people are playing catch up in the digital space.
Mm.
I remember before this all happened, you and I were trying to push this message, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, they saw value in it, but they felt like they had time, right? They
Mm-hmm.
thought, they felt there was no urgency. And what's happened now with this pandemic, with everybody shifting to digital platforms, everybody,
Mm-hmm.
like, we're here on this is Restream we're on now, but a lot of times I spend on Zoom and like doing my consultations. Everything's gone digital. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People who have digital components to their business have seen bumps. They've seen spikes in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other people who have physical businesses are struggling right now. If you some of the clients I consult with have seen major jumps in income because everybody's digital habits have just been magnified at this time. If you spend 3 hours online, you spend 6 hours online now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everything that you do digitally has just been increased exponentially because of all this extra time you've got by yourself. Right?
Right, and everybody, like you said, everyone is sitting in front of their desk, and whereas before we would spend a lot of time out in our cars, we're not
Mhm.
in our cars. What are we doing? We're sitting in front of our computer. I literally have to walk away, go
Right?
outside to my garden just to get away from my computer before I might get something to eat and come back and sit in. Now I literally leave the computer, sometime my phone. I go downstairs. I eat at the table just to get away. So, because that's what I
Yeah.
would be doing if I was in an office. So we
And
are spending what would you say hour wise?
I'm
Maybe.
I'm 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 not typical. I spend way too much time. I mean, even before this, because of the nature of my business, I spend a lot of time in front of this setup. Now, with the way things are going, I spend way too much time in front of this setup. I mean, it's ridiculous how much time I'll spend here. But I guess the average person doesn't spend this much, but they do spend significant amounts of time. Um, I mean, and it's not a shift that is going to be changing anytime soon. Even when things fully open up,
Hmm.
businesses and individuals have discovered things that they thought were impossible before. I remember
Mm,
before this, and especially working with my older clients, trying to get meetings scheduled via Zoom was a chore. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do Zoom meetings. And
mm-hmm.
now that they've been forced to, they understand the power that is contained within that, within that software. And it's like, our meetings are just as effective on Zoom as
Mm-hmm.
they are live.
Hmm.
You know,
In fact, I have to every now and then say, I don't want to do a Zoom. I want to have a phone conversation. So I deliberately will leave out the Zoom link and they'll call me and go, I didn't get the link. That's because we're
yeah.
doing it. We're going to do old fashioned. We're going to have a con, because, unless I got something to share with you, there's
Yeah.
really no reason for me to have a Zoom.
Yeah.
So I'm preserving both my eye time and your eye time, and just to have some normalcy that we're not just sitting in
Mhm.
front of the screen.
Well,
So
and also, I mean, like, so for me though, it's the Zoom replaced the live meetings. What it really replaced.
yes.
I can, and this is going to sound really funny. We have there's someone who I consult for, where I'm one of several consultants on this weekly. We're on a steering committee for a larger corporation, and one of the other guys always dials in. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and because he's actually, so I'm steering I'm providing directional guidance, and this guy is the technical person actually running things on the website that's part of this.
Okay.
And we didn't know for years that he no longer lived in LA. When we first started doing this, he was in like Pasadena, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
And then later on, we come to find out he's in Sacramento and he's been there for 2 years, and none of us knew
Wow.
he moved. Right? He was able to deliver. I mean, and the thing was, the reason why is he insisted on dialing into the meeting every week. Okay,
Oh, so nothing
and they,
changed.
and yeah, and they accepted it from him because he purely gave his input was purely technical.
Mm,
Okay, so they wanted me there live, and they were
mm-hmm.
willing to have him dial in because they didn't really need because no, he's a web developer, and so they
Okay.
didn't really feel like he had to be in the room.
Okay.
Okay, Now, when this happened, we were all remote.
Mm.
Okay. And now that we meet live again, they don't necessarily, they found out that we get the same done when I'm there, whether I'm not there physically. So
Yeah,
we're never going
exactly.
back to me being back there live.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of companies are going to go back with people being live. In fact, I've actually heard that some of the larger organizations have created smaller satellite offices in areas close to wherever their employees, the majority of their employees work. And so then if they feel that they need to come into the office, they can come in the office there. They don't have to spend hours on the freeway trying to get
Yeah,
there. And
that's the
then
big thing. The hours on the
right.
freeway. I mean, and I mean, what I just want to get across is that the situation that's happened over the past 2 years. I mean, it's really sparked a fundamental change that isn't going to be reverting back to the way things were anytime soon.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
agree.
if you're not exploring options online, um, as an entrepreneur, then you have to start. There's no two ways around it. But actually, I wanted to back up a second, and I know that we're talking today about digital entrepreneurship, okay, how to make
Mhm.
money online. But I want to take a step back and actually remove the digital part of it, and let's just talk for a second about entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Okay, entrepreneur. I mean, like, why even consider entrepreneurship, right? I remember on we were manning a booth at Juneteenth,
Mhm.
and we were barking at people trying to get them to talk to us, spitting
Right.
out things just to get their attention. Right? There was one thing
Right.
you were saying that that got a lot of people's attention. Do you remember what that one thing was? It had to do with
I was telling people that the movement for for economic empowerment is not going to happen by us just protesting or us coming to expos. It actually has we have to generate revenue in order
Mhm.
to so that it recycles back into our community. That's
But
basically
there,
what I was
but
saying.
there was something you said though. You put it in a really catchy way, right? About
Mm.
it, and it had. I want you to really remember what it was. Remember, it was about freedom. Do you remember what you said about freedom?
What did I say? Well, I say it all the
Like,
time, but
it's basically okay. So I'll try to connect the dots for you. You were talking about freedom, and they were talking, and finances were involved in this thing. What did you say?
I
You
said that
you recall?
I can't
It was really
recall, but
catchy. Okay, so what you had said was, okay, there is no real freedom unless you're financially free.
oh yeah, that's what I
Remember that
said.
one? That
Yeah, I
that
remember. Yeah, there's no
that would
freedom
grab
unless
people,
you.
right? And it grabbed people because that's a real. I mean, people don't think of it that way. I mean, like when you talk about freedom, most people don't. Their minds don't head towards that, right? But
Mm-mm.
I mean, it might sound kind of. I mean, it might sound kind of capitalist, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I just want to say that nothing wrong with capitalism. Okay, but what's the point of being free if you're broke?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you're free to do what? Sit around twiddling your thumbs. I mean, like looking what other people have. I mean, like what kind of freedom is that, right?
I know me personally, when money gets to a certain place, like in the very beginning of the pandemic, and you're like, oh, mate, it's it's funny, Armand, at the beginning of 2020. I had everybody had all these great plans, right? I
Mhm.
was really getting ready to kick off my speaking, getting paid to speak because I speak all the time, but I was really getting ready to kick that tour off. I had some things lined up, had some conferences that I was going to attend. I was ready, right? I mean, I had projected out, forecasted what my revenue was going to be for the year. I was getting ready to launch an e-course. I was all ready for
Yes, I
that,
remember that.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Remember,
Yep.
I took classes and I was ready. We were talking about the digital entrepreneurship program that we were getting ready to do.
Yes. Yes.
We were ready to kick it off. And then after January, well, January was good, and usually my Januaries are kind of slow because folks got to get into the mode to want to pay their taxes, and so they got to get in the mode to want to do their bookkeeping. So usually it kicks off about February or March when it really starts to go into high gear. But here my March changed. Everything shut down. All my classes that had been scheduled were that were live. I no longer had them. I'm thinking, oh, what does this mean? And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, I can do these online. And so we start flipping until we got to the line. But I tell you, when my money gets a little funny, I'm not laughing. It may
Yeah,
be laughing, but I am not laughing at all.
yeah. I mean, when something is weighing on you, I mean, some people go on vacation, but if there's, I mean, they're physically out there on a vacation, but their
Hmm.
mind's not there because they're worried about something else, right?
Right,
And
right,
and and,
exactly.
and I mean, in the reality of today's world, what do we really worry about? I mean, health issues is one thing, okay,
Yes,
but it's proven, there, you know, your financial status and health go hand in hand,
it does.
right? Um, I mean, even longevity. People live longer who have um, more wealth and more education.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not because it makes them healthier. It just makes them more concerned about their health. I believe is what
Right,
it possibly is,
exactly.
and
Hmm.
it also makes them make better choices,
Yep.
right? So you were telling people that you're not really free unless you're financially free. I mean, it makes it makes perfect sense, um, and that's where I think entrepreneurship it's able to jut itself in there, right?
Hmm.
In I mean, if you're being honest with ourselves, the American dream, because of course we're all Americans now, right? This is the
Hmm.
U.S. For those of you watching outside the U.S., this is the U.S. that we're in, and
Hmm.
and the American dream. I mean, like what makes up the American dream? A lot of it hinges around stuff. I mean, like the what
Yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, part of the American dream is the I mean the freedoms that we have by being here. But like we said, once again, you're not truly free until you're financially free because you know, part of the American dream, people talk about the white picket fence type stuff, right?
Right, exactly.
You know, and of course, when we say white picket fence and all that, that really means that's home ownership, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And we are in California. I don't know where all you guys are watching are at, but we're in California, and home ownership doesn't look the same here as it looks in Arkansas. It,
No, or anywhere in the South,
anywhere else,
anywhere out,
anywhere,
yeah,
right?
anywhere right now,
I
right?
mean,
It's very
I
costly here.
wonder why we live here. To tell you the truth, right?
Yeah,
When guys
yeah.
like Elon Musk are running for Texas, why am I still in California? That's my question. But
Well, there's a couple reasons I'm not in Texas, but
that's true. There you
one,
go. But
voting has a lot to do with
yeah,
that.
but I
They're
mean,
trying to take all of my rights
yeah, but
away.
entrepreneurship makes that. When we look
Yeah.
at the American dream, can you achieve what you want? I mean, everything that you want in life. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about those I don't want to call them unattainable dreams, but I'm
Hmm.
not talking about like those I wish kind of things, like guys who want to have like a fleet of Rolls Royces, like a mansion in every state they live, not that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about reasonable American dream level type stuff,
Hmm.
right? Can
Yeah.
you really achieve that working 9 to 5 for somebody else?
There was and I didn't we had I read something. It popped up in my news feed where this attorney was working. Her dream had always been to work at a high powered attorney law firm, right?
Hmm.
And she went to Harvard, came out top of her class, and so she actually got that job, that uh um
The dream job.
the dream job, right? And she was working so hard. She was making about $250,000, but she realized that, wait a minute, I have no time for myself. I'm working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, which really now means I'm working minimum wage because of the number of
Yeah,
hours that you're working. And in those kind of environments, if you're not working hard, then you don't need to be there. That's why they brought you there. So
yeah,
she decided to get her a podcast. She started blogging until she was making enough money where she could replace her job. She gave it up. She says, this is not the life that I want to live. where
Yeah.
I'm at work all the time. Yes, I'm making a lot of money, but I can't spend it because I can't go anywhere. I can't go on vacation. And when she had gone on vacation, her boss called her back or spent all that time calling her all day long. So she gave it up, and so now she has a blog that has actually exceeded
Her
what she
previous,
was
yeah.
making. Yeah,
She's
and
replaced her job with her own business. And and that's the funny thing about this. That's there was an this is gonna be this is kind of funny. There was a saying back in the 1800s.
mhm,
It was an equality saying. It's like was it God made man, but Colt was it Sam Colt made him equal? It's
yeah,
it's a promotion for the firearm, right?
right,
So
right, right,
like
right, right.
okay. But that's the thing about the online environment. Okay, so let's jump.
Yeah, we can jump right on in and
We'll
get to.
jump all over the place here. So we're talking. Okay, so your example, that attorney, is somebody that's one of the few examples of a person who can potentially achieve the American dream of a job, right? Certain
Mhm,
jobs pay enough, but they're
mhm,
not for everybody, right?
right.
I don't really believe that anybody who wants to become an attorney can become a successful attorney, right?
Yeah,
It's not in everybody's cards. Not
right.
everybody can be an attorney. Not everybody can be a doctor.
Mhm,
Not
mhm,
everybody can be high end structural engineer. There's some jobs pay enough, but they are people are limited by by their own capacities, by maybe their ability to afford the educations that go with them,
mhm.
right? Those are not for everybody.
No.
Sometimes people smart enough are not going to get there just because they just can't afford to get the degrees,
Mhm, mhm.
right? But that's where this pops in. So you talked about an attorney, a person who had a solid American dream level job and replaced it online with their own business, right? But the funny thing about it is, like, you don't have to be the kind of person who can become an attorney to make money online. I mean, like the online environment is that is the great level playing field, I think.
So anybody,
Anybody,
basically,
yeah.
long as you have something to talk about, something that you can share,
Well, as long
that
as you understand one thing, as long as you understand one thing online, you have the capacity to earn there. Okay, and being an online entrepreneur has the same risks as being an entrepreneur in the physical world. 95% of businesses fail within the first 5 years.
right.
That's the hard statistic. And actually, I saw where that comes from. It comes from what's it called? It comes from oh shoot, I'm forgetting what it is now. It's the SBA.
Mm.
The SBA puts out that
Yes, the
number.
SBA has,
Okay,
yeah, you
and I
can.
saw I saw I saw the statistics behind how it's not as straightforward as it sounds, but that effectively is the end result.
Mhm.
95% of businesses fail within the first 5 years.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's just, you can't escape that. That's like, it's like that should be added to the list. Death, taxes, and 95% of businesses will fail within the first 5 years. That's how I think it should be. I got you. Thank God, no coffee on your nose there. Right? But
Death, taxes, and you're gonna fail in the first 5
yeah,
years.
it's a hard and fast rule.
Right.
There's no escaping it. No matter how special your business is, no matter how good your idea is, no matter how well you're funded, you're still subject to that rule.
Yeah.
Okay, having having a solid business plan, having good funding, having experience, hiring the right people, that all helps to make it, right?
Mhm.
But you still have a risk of failing. Like, a lot of people went into business coming out of 2019. They started some really big businesses up, and they thought things were going to be great in 2020, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
besides the market not being what you thought it was, besides the economy, you've got plagues happening now.
Mhm.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah, there's so many other external,
Yeah,
things that could help perpetuate the failure of your business,
yeah.
right? A legislation passed by someone that doesn't have a vested interest in your state or your community that you're in could level. Look what has happened to, the in the state of California, to the independent contractors when
Mhm.
they decided to come up with the AB 5, where redefining what is a independent contractor.
Yeah.
That that changed a lot of business models. Um, and I kind of marveled at it because at one moment we were uplifting and going, how innovative to be a disruptive business that is disrupting the taxi service, and they're
No.
making it right and giving people opportunity to create their own entrepreneurial type of business, right?
And all of a sudden, boom.
And boom, well, let's just take that away.
Yep. I mean, all sorts of, I mean, that's the lesson to be learned. All sorts of things can happen. You, the, it makes you leery. Okay. So knowing that, so knowing 95% can fail. I mean, like, why do, you know, it makes entrepreneurship sound a little bit less attractive, right?
Yeah, it
It's
does.
like, I can go 9 to 5 for somebody else. Yeah, I may never achieve my dreams, but at least, I'm not going to fail, right? Some people may look at it that way.
Yes.
And if we were talking about business in 1970 and 1980, I would kind of agree with you in some ways, but not today, because, yeah, if you open up a restaurant, if you dump your life savings into that kind of a business and you failed and couldn't come back, yeah, that's devastating.
Mm-hmm.
But in the digital world, you can do the one thing that I believe can help you mitigate that risk. If not, let's use a more even number. If 9 out of 10 businesses failed,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I know you know the answer to this. The way that you can almost guarantee. So I mean, if you want to use the statistics, if you want to follow the numbers like strictly, 9
Mm-hmm.
out of 10 fail. How can you be assured of having one that succeeds?
Um, well, when I teach, one, you obviously have to make sure you have a solid business model that can generate revenue. You you must have a real clear focus on who your target audience and your target
Mhm.
market is. Thirdly, is great if you had capital, especially if you have a product based business and you had an infusion of capital. With service based businesses, you can actually start and launch a business for far less, but you do have to have a market. You have to have a target market and an effective communication to get to those individuals. So you're pretty much laser focused. So that kind of, I mean, it's still a calculated risk, but
Yes.
that really kind of does give you a steady pathway to being successful.
Now let's talk about those are all things you can do with your individual businesses. Now let's talk about a group like investors. Okay, like
Right,
a group like for example, Shark Tank, right?
right.
So these guys people like that look at um, at hundreds of thousands of prospects every month.
Mhm.
How many different people are coming to them to invest in their business, and they're looking at it and they're cherry picking. They're looking for the cream of the crop, the best of the best.
Right.
Okay, and even out of those best of the best, and we're using the more rounded number now. Let's say they pick out of 1,000 prospects, they pick 100 that they feel are the best of those 1,000.
Right.
And out of that 100, they pick their top 10%, the ones that they really think are winning. All these on paper are winners. Okay.
Right.
Now they take their top 10, okay, and they invest in those top 10, right? Then knowing full well that out of that top 10, statistically speaking, 9 will still fail.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
The one winner pays for all the losses. That's the answer to that question. Like all those 10 businesses that they invested in all had what you said. They all had all those components in place. They were
Right.
all winning ideas with the proper management, the proper capital, everything they had was in there.
Mhm.
Okay. 9 statistically will still fail. Okay.
Mm.
But the one is going to make it. And that's how you beat it. If
Mhm.
9 out of 10 businesses will fail, just open 10 solid businesses. Okay. Now,
Ah,
in the real world, that's not really you think, oh, that's not doable. But the thing is that large corporations, like large holding companies that run restaurant groups, that's what they do. They have multiple brands that they launch simultaneously, and the ones that peter out, they convert them into the ones that are winning.
right.
Okay. They invest in multiple businesses simultaneously. Okay.
Mm.
But how can we do that as individuals that don't have billions of dollars of investment money? Right.
Right.
The online environment lets us do that. Right. We can open up 10 digital businesses simultaneously if he wanted to, okay,
Mm.
with relatively little capital.
And
Okay.
what would those businesses look like?
Let's take a look at that for a second. And actually, I just, my mind just blanked on something. When I talked about relatively little capital, that's this is a scenario where you don't fear failure, because as a business person, we've been working, we've been out there as business people for literally decades, right?
Right,
And
right.
I learned more from the things that I failed at than the ones I succeeded at.
Well, isn't that what it's supposed to? I mean, that's that when
That's
I
what it should be.
that's
That's
what
what
you're
it should
supposed to
be.
be doing, right? Is to
But
learn.
a lot of entrepreneurs never get past their first failure
Yeah.
because they put everything into that one thing. They swung for the fences. It failed. They were embarrassed. They had no more money left, and they just went on back to their 9 to 5. Right?
Mm.
They should have learned from that failure, but they weren't able to just because of life.
Mm-hmm.
But the online world, the digital world, allows us to do that. And let's actually talk about what those businesses are. Those online. There's hold on. Let me do us. Can we pop up that screen share real quick?
Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So here we go. By the way, for those of you watching who do not know, Diginet is the Digital Entrepreneurship Network. That is a working logo right now, and it's a learning community that we are launching in January to supply this information and this guidance out there to help people to discover what's available to them. Okay. The online world is what we're talking about. And I think it's important to understand the environment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I ask people, because so my title is this: I'm a digital consultant. I've been a business consultant for a long time, and we were physical before. And I help people set up their businesses in the past physically, now digitally. And in the physical world, when people they come to wanting to have their own business, a lot of them want to open restaurants. And the funny part about them wanting to open up restaurants is their only experience in that world is eating at them,
Mm.
right? Like, they figured, oh, I eat enough restaurants. And that's really fun because I've actually had clients who come up to me and, we're talking about their experience and why they're getting into the business. And they feel that they're experts in the restaurant field because they eat at them so frequently. And I mean, and a lot of people think that way. A lot of people want to own their own clubs. It's like, what qualifies you to own your own nightclub? Oh, I mean, like, they feel themselves to be masters of the nightclub scene because they're always partying. They're always at nightclubs.
Right, right.
Enjoying a nightclub, enjoying a restaurant doesn't give you the experience you need to run one. Just because you as a customer have all these ideas for how they can be better, right? But what customers don't understand is sometimes the reason why they don't implement the kinds of ideas that you have is because it just doesn't work for them as business.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand it. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's talk about the digital environment. I was talking to one of my clients recently, and we're talking about businesses he wanted to diversify himself into because he's had a pretty good run right now and he wants to open up more streams of income. And everything he was talking to me was physical. He wants to have a couple, clothing, he wants to open up some clothing lines. He wanted to do a food truck. Everything was physical. And I'm like, why aren't you looking at some lower investment, higher return businesses like online opportunities? And he's like, oh man, I mean, like, I'm not really in that space. I want to be doing something I'm familiar with. And I pointed out to him, and like, dude, you're not online. I mean, like, he's to him, and we talked about this earlier, to him being online, the online business was Amazon, like it was shopping at Best Buy online. He didn't realize that visiting any online site is patronizing somebody's business. He didn't have that. He didn't know that at all. When he realized that he's been a consumer for his whole adult life, he's been helping people online make millions of dollars, and he didn't realize it. Now he's open to the concept, right? Let's talk about it real quick. Here we go.
You guys are in for a treat.
Here we go. We're diving in now. We're diving in deep. Okay, this is Digital Entrepreneurship 101. We're not going to get through this whole thing. We're just going to really talk about the most important part is how you make money there. Okay. So everything that you've seen online, it all breaks down into 5 main revenue opportunities. Okay. So we're going to talk about understanding the digital environment. Everybody watching this is a digital consumer in more ways than they realize. And you'll see it as we go along. Let's take a peek at this. Okay, so let's talk about monetizing your digital platforms. And digital platforms, a lot of people, when we talk about the digital environment, they're thinking, oh, YouTube or perhaps Instagram and things like that. Okay, the backbone of most successful online presences are websites. Okay, the things we just mentioned: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the social platforms. Those serve to funnel traffic back to sites. Okay, that's what they should be for. They're not the end all be all. They're just spokes on the wheel. Okay? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about monetizing these digital platforms. There are 5 main revenue sources, and you will see how you pay people without even knowing it. The first one is advertising. Okay, advertising. Let's look at examples of digital advertising. Because for each one of these, I have actual examples. Let's look at this. So this is a company called the Spruce. This is their website. Actually, let's go to their homepage. This is their homepage. This is their food website, the Spruce Eats. They have other websites. They have websites about pets. They have websites about home DIY. They have what is the other one? Eats, pets, the regular Spruce. They also they have one about crafting. Believe it or not. Okay, so this is their food website. Okay, this is what advertising looks like. When I clicked on this beef short rib recipe, I'm getting these Best Buy ads popping up. That is advertising. Okay, those ads are not being. They don't have a relationship with Best Buy. They have a relationship with an advertising agency, and when I pop onto this page, I get shown ads that reflect my surfing patterns. Mm-hmm. I buy electronics. Okay, so I'm getting Best Buy ads. I'm a foodie, so I'm going to get stuff like this. Oh, actually, no, that's just a straight up video. There we go. There's a Campbell Soup ad. There's a Genesis ad for like what was Hyundai. Was it Equus? I can't remember. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm getting an ad for Fiber for some reason. Okay, Fiber Max. Okay,
that's your browsing history.
That's my browsing history right there. So okay, good. I'm getting an ad for Hennessy cocktails, right? Okay, Bank of America. Every time these ads pop up, they get paid.
Now, am I searching? Have I contracted with those companies, or are they finding me?
They're finding you. So this website has a contract with an ad agency. And the way that's why the online environment is so awesome for your ad. If you are going to be buying advertising, the online world is great because your ads are being shown to people looking for products like yours. So if Crystal, if you popped onto this website, the same page right now on your computer, the ad would be different than the ones that I'm seeing.
Right.
Okay, because it's tailored to you, whereas these are tailored to me. Okay, that's advertising. This is how advertising works. Now, the Spruce Eats is owned by a company called IAC. And IAC is a multi-billion-dollar holding company. And the Spruce Eats is one of their top, and the Spruce itself, their monetized websites are one of their top producing segments. Okay. IAC, they make hundreds of millions of dollars from these websites.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, how much could I potentially make from the advertising resource, the revenue source?
It all depends on the level of traffic, number of people visiting your site.
Okay.
Right. It's all determined by the number of views you get. And that's why I was saying earlier that if you want to make money online, there's only one thing you need to know. And you need to know that it's all about the consumers. You need to create content that people want to see. Okay. Large numbers of people. Okay. You don't want to create stuff that has very limited audience. You want to create stuff that is popular. People are already looking for it, and you want to give them what they're looking for. Okay. The online world is not about innovating. The online world is about finding out what everyone is already looking for and jumping on that bandwagon.
Mm.
Okay. One of the biggest things is food. Let me show you another one. Another food based group.
And you're so right about food, Armand, because I couldn't find anything on television to watch the other day. So I went through, and you know how on the reality TV shows they have a lot of food reality shows. I must have watched 4 or 5 of them that was just about baking, and these are
That's
competitions.
that's one of my secrets. If when clients come to me and want to get into this and they want to learn how to publish content for profit, they ask me, what do I want to publish about? Right. When we first started doing stuff like this, we talked about, turning your passions into profits. Okay. That is a good and bad statement, because it's good because, yeah, it can be done. It's bad because sometimes somebody's passion is stamp collecting. No offense to stamp collectors.
Hmm.
It's a cool hobby. I mean, I collect stuff too that has a small audience, right? But you're not going to make a 7-figure income with a website about stamp collecting. I mean, you can prove me wrong, but I just don't think that there's as many people out there looking for information about stamps as there are looking for information about food, right?
Hmm.
And so when people say, what should I publish content about? I say just that. Look at what reality TV does. Look at the topics they cover. You know, look at go to your grocery store. I mean, this is going to sound weird talking about a digital platform. Go to the grocery store. Go to that area that nobody visits anymore, the magazine
Hmm.
aisle, right? Look at the magazine aisle and look at the topics covered by the magazines, right? That's how you figure out what you should be publishing. Okay. Those are topics that they only publish those magazines because a lot of people are interested in those topics.
Mm.
Okay. Um, so listen, here's another one. So the first one we looked at was the Spruce Eats, which is a large corporate website. This is Pinch of Yum, which is a mom and pop operation run by a really friendly, awesome young couple who live in Michigan.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, not Michigan, Minnesota. It starts with an M.
Okay.
It's snowy. Okay. Um, and this is a mom and pop website. Okay. And in fact, there's the mom.
Mm.
That's her. Her name is Lindsay. She runs this. This is her business. Her husband, Bjork, is her partner in this. And they started this up a couple of years back. And it's just a website about someone who just loves food. They don't cook it professionally. They just enjoy consuming it. And they just find themselves gravitating towards food. And so they made this, right? This is a 7-figure site. This site nets them 7 figures yearly. Okay, so your question was, Crystal, how much can you reasonably expect to make from advertising? And let's look at that. Here's one of their posts, and look at the ads. There's a room. Okay, why is it showing me Roomba ads? Okay.
Oh, is that? Do you have the little oh, because it's Christmas.
It's
But is
Christmas.
it
It's Christmas, and that's a good gift. Okay, I'll accept that.
okay?
Here's another ad right there. There's another one for, what is this? Oh my God, my struggle to keep my weight off. Oh, this is getting too real. Okay. There's her husband, Bjork. Okay. What's this one for? Okay. This is getting embarrassing now. This is an ad for Poise.
Okay.
I think that's okay. So obviously, I'm an okay. So I am a digital consultant, so I look at all sorts of different sites to get. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Let's see what else I can embarrass myself with. Okay, here's one, Feed the Children. Okay, that's not bad. That's not
Right.
too embarrassing. Okay, what's this? There's another ad popping up. Oh, investments, Charles Schwab. On the bottom, there's another ad. What is that? It's Poise again. Dang it. Okay. Okay, so and here's another one, Mercari. Don't know what that means. Anyway, this is a mom and pop. So I would say that I've seen their numbers, 70+% of the revenue comes from advertising in that form.
Wow.
So they make this site nets a minimum of an even 7 figures. So let's just call it an even 1 mil net per year, right? If it was a $1 million net per year for this website, then $700,000 comes from those. Okay. And that's why I listed it first in this list of ways you can make money, because it's one of the most powerful. But it doesn't kick in until you have more traffic.
Now, did Lindsay and Borg have any special talents that they had in order to make them so successful at this?
The one special talent I feel they had was their discipline. They started and they consistently posted. It started as a hobby that grew into it started as a bit of a hobby / passion that grew into a part-time, it's a nice little part-time income that grew further until they replaced their jobs.
Okay.
And then now, they're legitimate millionaires off of this. Okay? And I show you them because this is the mom and pop version of the other one we saw. This other one that we looked at, this Spruce Eats, their numbers are staggering. Okay, the overall company that owns them, I think it's something like, I don't want to misquote it. I want to say that they make somewhere in the neighborhood of, what are they? Hold on, let me take a look. I believe IAC, which is their here it is. This is the company that owns them. Okay. You will recognize some of the brands they own.
Okay. Investopedia,
Daily Beast, Angie. So the Angie companies, Angie's List, they own that.
Okay.
Now there's a bunch of new ones here. They just bought these new ones, Food and Wine. They really doubled down on food content because food content is a big earner. Okay, they really went crazy with that.
And Daily Burn. In fact, I'm looking at infogram, and it says that, and I have it up here on the screen. 84% of consumers make purchases after reading about a product or service on a blog, but the food bloggers are the most influential, and they say that food bloggers have 4 times as many followers than any other industry, with an average of 23,000 monthly unique visitors.
Yep. It's one of the most powerful. That's why everyone wants to jump into that. Take a look at this. Let me take a look at this one. Is this the 2021? Okay. Here's IAC's 2021 results. Let's make this bigger. There we go. So IAC owns a lot more than just those type of businesses. They own a lot. They own a lot of others. They also recently spun off one of their other businesses. They own Vimeo.
Oh.
They own Vimeo, yes, but they spun it off, so it's no longer being reflected here.
Okay.
So look at this. DotDash right here. DotDash. This is the division that owns those websites. DotDash is their monetized website division. Okay. Actually, what I call it a monetized website division, and what it really is, that is their content publication division. They are a content publisher. They're like the companies that make magazines. They're like Condé Nast is just like them.
Okay.
Condé Nast owns GQ magazine, Cosmopolitan, and all the websites that go with it. So Condé Nast is one of the older publishers. DotDash is a relatively new one, but they are one of the fastest growing in the world. Look at this. In the second quarter of 2021, DotDash earned 73. Oops, I gotta highlight it. $73.3 million.
Wow. And that's a quarter.
That's a quarter. That's the quarter of the second quarter of 2021. Okay.
Wow.
Now, when you compare it to how much they earned in the second quarter of 2020, look at that. In this economy, in this COVID world, they earned $29 million more that quarter in 2021 than they did in 2020.
Wow.
And what's crazy is this. Let's look at that. Let's look at first quarter. Let's look at 2020, quarter one. And let's expand that. 2020. See Vimeo is still there, is reflected. They did $44 million in the first quarter of 2020. That's in COVID. An increase of $10 million over the same quarter in 2019.
Wow.
In this economy, they continue to grow
That's amazing.
because their entire business model is online. And when this pandemic hit, they made more money naturally because of it. I want to show you something that's really staggering. DotDash. Where is it?
Oh, go back up.
DotDash. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're talking about the increase of revenue. Okay. Actually, where's the one I want to show you?
So if you had a small business that, especially if you had a business that most of your revenue came from walk-in traffic, and of course now we don't have that ability, because of COVID, the pandemic. If you just did some tweaking, especially if you had a restaurant or something that a person would be interested in, you could really turn your business around dramatically,
Oh,
right?
certainly. Now look at this is crazy to realize. Look at this DotDash. This is the third quarter 2020. DotDash revenue increased 26%. Okay, to $50.8 million that quarter, which is the 14th consecutive quarter of double-digit revenue growth. What is
Wow.
14 quarters?
14 quarters.
It's 3+ years, right? That's three and a
Yeah,
half
3 years.
years.
Mm-hmm.
For 3.5 years, every quarter they experienced double-digit revenue growth.
Oh yeah, that's a game changer.
I mean, that's unheard of. And do you know what their product is at this company? This is crazy. Their product is articles about braised beef short ribs. Do they sell anything? The answer is a emphatic no. They don't
Wow.
sell anything. Okay, DotDash doesn't sell products. They present information that people are looking for.
Right.
Okay, so I don't want to get too far.
So that was number one, advertising. So you guys
Advertising.
can see how lucrative advertising is. So number two.
Okay, let's look at number 2. Affiliate marketing. Okay, so let's ask that question. What is affiliate marketing? Okay, affiliate marketing, in its simplest terms, is a referral commission for sending somebody to buy something somewhere else. Okay, uh, what's a good example? Like like a friend of yours. Okay, an illegal example is a realtor has a friend who refers him a friend and gives that friend some money. Okay, realtors are not supposed to do that. Okay,
Right. Right.
that's a referral commission. That's supposed to be done, right? Okay, but an auto dealer can. Okay, because there's no licensing involved. So if you want to refer a friend to someone that you know who sells cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that, and they can give you a referral commission. That's
Right.
something that works.
Exactly.
Now, affiliate marketing, and I can see it actually. People are posting. Oh, that's you posting.
That's me. Yeah, I was putting it in. So, because
Affiliate marketing. Go ahead.
one of the things you look at is, even in my business, right? I've had clients, or friends refer me, clients, bookkeeping clients, especially if it was a big one, and I would give them especially if it was no way I could have had access and guaranteed to get that client, but because it came through them, then they'll give me a percentage of that. Or I have quite a few affiliate partners. Um, where if they're having an event and I help them sell tickets, then I get an affiliate a commission, so the fee or referral fee
Yep.
for sending them over there. So it's really become the new way of another revenue stream, actually.
Yes. And you talked about it a second ago. When a food blogger or any blogger talks about a product, you said people tend to go to buy it, right? What was
Yes.
the number? Food.
84% of consumers make purchases based upon reading about a product or a service on a blog.
Okay. So let's say, for example, that you and I. Okay. I don't know if you can see us on this tiny screen. I am holding in my hand what's called an Ember cup. Okay.
Okay.
This is a coffee mug that keeps your coffee hot.
Yeah, my sister has one of those.
Kind of neat, right? This one's small. My complaint here is it's 10 ounces. I'll drink this in like a second, but I mean, we can do a review on this Ember mug, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if we did, people will go to our website and they'll read about it, and we will make money from the ads that appear in the margins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, there's a good chance that the people reading about it will go to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let me ask you this: what if you took the extra step of putting a link inside that post to allow them to buy it through your affiliate link, and you can earn some money from it? Let's take a look at what that looks like.
Okay.
Oops, let me try to get the right screen here. Here we go. Let's go back to Pinch of Yum. Here's an article that they wrote about easy honey lemon chicken. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. It's a recipe. They talk about how great it is to make it, blah, blah, blah. And then they have nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. There's no need bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a list of equipment they use to make the no need bread. They use stainless steel mixing bowls, a wooden spoon, and a Dutch oven. There's a buy now button underneath each one of them. Click the Dutch oven, and I'm going to Amazon to buy that Dutch oven. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can write about products and review them and do whatever you want, and then put an affiliate marketing link right inside your post. And when people buy this Dutch oven from Amazon, they get paid. A small percentage, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, how you already made money from the traffic. The affiliate marketing money is just, that's just icing on the cake.
That's some additional revenue.
Additional revenue.
So this, I just pulled up something. So 60% of merchants that report an annual affiliate marketing revenue of up to 20%. So that's a nice little number there.
Yep, and it's amazing. I mean, it's in fact, Pinch of Yum's earlier a couple of years ago, their I think what was it, like 3 years ago, their affiliate marketing revenue monthly was topping $4,000. I mean,
Yeah.
$4,000 is more than the average American family makes a month,
And
they're
that's
making it
another
off of
revenue
referrals.
stream.
Yeah, they're making off of referrals to like wooden spoons, instant pots, and Dutch ovens. I mean, crazy, right?
Right,
Because that's
exactly.
affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing isn't just kitchen equipment. It could be camera equipment. Because actually, anything that Amazon sells can be accessed with an affiliate link.
Okay.
So it could be cookware, it could be electronics, it could be patio furniture, it could be pens, and you name it. If Amazon sells it, computer equipment, if they sell it, you can make money by linking people to it.
I think it's excellent. Excellent.
It's awesome.
So what's number 3?
Let's look at number 3. Let's go back to our list, affiliate marketing. Okay, number 3, sponsorship. Okay, sponsorship and advertising sound very similar. Okay. The difference between sponsorship and advertising is that you as a brand have a direct relationship with your sponsor. So when we were looking at the ads that were appearing on the sites I was looking at, those companies didn't have any relationship with those ads. Those ad companies, they didn't have a relationship with, for example, that Poise company. They didn't have a relationship with Poise. Okay?
Right.
But this is what sponsorship looks like. Let's use Pinky M again because they have a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this one's right here. So this is their what's this? This is their honey lemon chicken again, right?
Right.
So the article talks about making this honey lemon chicken, and you'll notice right there, this recipe is sponsored by Lodge Cast Iron.
Mm.
So Lodge paid them to create this post. And what did they do? If you look at the contents of the post, it doesn't come off as a commercial. Because, I mean, just read through it. And I mean, like, here's the first paragraph, right? Featured comment. Well, this is a comment. That's not even them. If you look at this paragraph, they don't even mention the word Lodge. If you look at this paragraph, Lodge isn't there again. Now, here's a Lodge product in the photo. There it is again. You don't even see the word Lodge on the product yet.
Right. But I'm going to reach out to you to find out, because I'm gonna think that cast iron pot is the only pot could make my chicken look like your chicken if I bought that pot, right?
Here it is right there. This is the first time they mention Lodge. Okay. This paragraph right here is the only one that even reads somewhat like a commercial. Okay.
Okay.
But it doesn't really read like one. They mean they really use the product. Okay.
Mm.
And there it is. And they really don't mention Lodge again. Right. So yeah, they have Lodge here. They talk about a bit more, but this doesn't read like a commercial at all. This is a sponsored post. Okay. Now, this brand, Pinch of Yum, only does like 3 or 4 sponsored posts a month maximum. Okay? And they get about $25,000 to $30,000 for that per month.
Wow.
3 posts for 30 grand, not bad, right?
Not bad at all, man.
There's some
Not
social media
bad.
shout outs, but and they get that kind of love from their sponsors because they have traffic. They get that kind of sponsorship because they're publishing content that is drawing in a lot of traffic because the content is about popular topics.
So the key is developing the content.
Content about popular topics. That is the key. So I'll show you. I mean, like, and let's look at another example of sponsorship. Let me see if I can find another good one. Actually, it's them again. Is this sponsored? The Instant, this one here? No, this one's not. This talks about Instant Pot. Oh, this is another affiliate. So they wrote a post about Instant Pot recipes, and this thing is chock full of affiliate links. See? Sponsorship wise, I believe this bread one sponsored. I don't know if it is or not, because they're using Lodge again. It might not be. No, this is not. So this one is not a sponsored post. Okay, so sponsorship can be very, very powerful.
Yeah. Okay. So awesome. And that's quite a bit, because so the sponsorship is going to pay you more money than you would if you had your advertising. You could have multiple advertising, but sponsorship is a relationship that you've actually created.
And so sponsorship usually comes later on in the business, because you have to have an online presence that makes a sponsor want to work with you.
Okay.
Advertising can come automatically in the beginning. Sponsorship takes time to cultivate. Okay. It takes more work, but it is one of the 5. Okay. Let's jump on the next one. Oh yeah, products. So a lot of times when I ask a person what are their ideas for making money online, they want to sell stuff. Oh man, I'd like to have a clothing line. I want to have, people have ideas. Like, I want to do t-shirts. I want to do hoodies. I want to do, some people want to find products. They want to have an Amazon store. Okay. Yes. Selling your own products online is one of the ways you can make money. Another variation of selling products online is selling products that come through the drop shipping route. Okay. That's another option. So anytime you are moving a product online, this is what we're talking about. Okay.
Okay.
I don't recommend this from the get-go simply because you have to invest in it. If you're making your own products, you have to design them, right? If you're going to be selling products online on a smaller scale, you have to store them somewhere. You have to ship them out. Right? When you're bigger, all of that can be automated. But in the beginning, and I have clients who do that. Like I have a client who's a really good friend. Actually, he's a friend who became a client. They sell one of their products is activewear, and he fulfills it himself. He's got a garage full of product, and once a week he takes all that product, puts it inside those little Mylar bags, heads down to the post office and sends it out to the people, right? He does. I mean, he just, he has the time.
I already have time. Now
Yeah.
I found, I don't know if you guys can see, I have to stand up a little bit. So this is our t-shirt line,
There you go.
and that we're producing for the business zone. And we actually have a company that will do all the drop ship. We just designed it. Uh they've created a merch store for me. And you select the shirt that you want. I price it, and we have to price it over what we pay for it, and then they do all the drop ship. So that's how we've created our
That
merch
that
line.
actually that is following the that is another product variation we call that referred to as print on demand.
Yes.
And the product segment of digital entrepreneurship is vast. You can spend, if you want to do courses, you can spend endless hours on product variations.
Right.
But one of the reasons why I don't advise it in the beginning is because it does take a bit more work, and in the time that it takes you to ideate products and produce them in the designs, you could write a lot of digital content that can draw traffic instead.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, generally speaking, products don't draw eyeballs. You normally have to draw eyeballs in to show them products. That's what I found.
Okay.
So the funny part is this. I mean, like in this business, in the overall business model, and actually let's take a look at something here real quick. And I don't want to lean too heavily on this example, but look at this website, this web page. Okay? What do we know so far about the ways you can make money? Advertising is one of them, right?
Yes.
There's an ad right there. There's an ad right there on the top. It's for Amazon Fresh, and there's an ad right there in the bottom. Okay. There's another ad right there. Okay. So this page itself has advertising on it. Okay. What's another way we know to make money? Sponsorship. This same page has a post on it that is sponsored by Large Cast Iron. So advertising, sponsorship, both appear here. What's another way we know to make money?
We know the
affiliate marketing, right?
Affiliate marketing,
right? Go down this list, and I don't know if this one does it, but is there a link to buy one of these things?
I think there's down at the very bottom. There was some kitchen the pot that they use
right here. This actual sponsor recipe. Click it, and it takes you to buy it in the Lodge store. Okay. Yes. So you've got advertising, sponsorship, affiliate marketing. 3 of the 5 methodologies are represented on this single page. Okay. This website, now this is funny. They used to sell their own product. They used to have an ebook that dealt with taking food photographs. It was called the Tasty Food Photography ebook. I don't know if they still sell it. I don't think they do. I think they pulled it. So they no longer maintain it. Well, see, there's a cookbook, but that's a free cookbook you get just for subscribing to the list.
Subscribing to them.
So
that's
they
also keeping you following them.
Yeah. So they no longer sell their own product. They used to have their own product in the food photography ebook. They took it out of their lineup. Okay. So they chose not to focus on their own products anymore. They were making, and I was talking to a client about that earlier today too. When you've been in operation for a while, you can determine, what makes you the most money, and then you can also determine what you spend your time on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're spending too much time in areas that are not as profitable, you can just redirect that time into areas that are profitable and cut out the ones that aren't.
Okay, makes sense. And you're making, you're being, you're, especially if your page is, your site is being very productive, then, you
Yeah.
can make those decisions.
Yeah, there you go. And so there is, yes, there's your own products. Okay.
And
Now
the
let's
fine,
talk
and
about
number five.
the last one of the bunch. Number 5 is membership.
Okay.
Okay. Membership is this, and I use the term mailbox money. Okay. This is something that you usually only get when you have a skill, an actor, who records who appears in a commercial. If their agent is good, they get residuals whenever it airs,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe you're on a TV series. Whenever episodes rerun, you get paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are residuals, and okay, that's residual payment, right? Membership is a form of residual. Okay.
Okay.
So membership in a digital product is something that you can have without a skill. Okay, you don't have to be able to act, you don't have to be able to sing, you don't have to be able to play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have any of those skills. You don't have to be able to be good at sports. You can simply repost content that people are willing to pay for. Find out what people want, assemble it, and charge to access it every month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, examples of membership. Let's talk about membership examples. Amazon membership. Okay, if you're buying products on Amazon, you are paying every year for the for the ability to do so. Right?
Right.
You're paying them to be able to shop on their site.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Think about that. Okay, how many stores can you go to that you're willing to pay to be able to for the privilege shopping there, right?
Right. And what they do is they give you prime no postage in
Yep.
order to, but again, that's for their benefit, because if you don't have to pay postage and it's a prime
Yeah.
product, then you're going to shop more, right?
Yep.
So it's to
There you
their
go.
benefit.
That's one method. That's one way to be a membership. Be a member. There's others. Like for example, we showed an example years ago in our courses. Courtney Kardashian was charging membership um, to access areas of her website,
Mhm.
right? And she was able to charge that because people wanted to see, the private stuff she would post to her members only, right?
Mhm.
And they were very disappointed to find out that her private content was just lists of things she likes to buy with affiliate links to go have you buy them.
A
But she
bait and
made millions
switch.
of dollars in membership for that short period of time until people looked at it and said, I don't want to be a member of this, right?
Yeah.
But they joined because of the fame, right?
Right.
If you're going to have membership as part of your digital lineup, you have to find something that's worth paying for over and over again, right?
Yeah.
It could be a subscription to a product, right? A consumable,
Mhm.
right? Like, you've seen the Dollar Shave Club,
Yeah.
where, that's membership,
Right,
right?
exactly.
That
So
is
something
membership.
that people will want, and it's a reoccurring,
Yep.
that they're gonna, how they're gonna
Like
benefit from
a
it.
beer of the month club or a cheese of the month club. That's
Mhm.
membership. You just got to
Yeah.
figure out what can you, and that's why membership is something that I feel not everybody can make their way into,
Mhm.
right? Because not everybody can come around to something that they can create that people will consistently come out of pocket for.
Exactly.
Okay, but it's a great fifth. There's a lot of ways that membership works.
Okay, so we got the top five. We have,
There
we'll
we go.
run back through it, guys. We have, number one was, where were we? Of advertising. Number two is affiliate marketing, right? Number three is sponsorship. Number four is your own products. And number 5 is membership.
Yep. So let's go backwards. Membership, products, sponsorship, affiliate marketing, and advertising. Everything that you see online is feeding into one of those 5 revenue streams. No matter what a person does online, they make money in one of those 5 ways. There's no way to make money online that doesn't fit into those.
And it seems like uh, the first 3, you can get that move. You can actually start generating some sort of percentages when you first create your content. But how do I bring that content to the people that's going to follow me?
Okay. So actually, we that starts up a whole other conversation. But tell you, let's leave them with this. I mean, like, I said earlier that the way to find, I don't like to use the word guaranteed, but to have a better chance of having the one business that succeeds is to open up 10, right? 10 solid ideas run properly. You can open up 10 sites like I just showed you, okay, tomorrow, okay, for a startup cost under $500. Under $500 and some elbow grease on your part, you can have 10 sites like those running.
Okay. I love it.
That's
So
and from there, that's where how we tell how you once you start that process for yourself, then you learn how to drive the traffic to them. I mean, it's really, really simple. I mean, it's kind of like falling off a log if you understand the basics of it. You just got to take yourself out of the equation and think entirely about the consumer and what it wants to consume. That's it.
okay. So I'm excited. So I've been working with you for a while. And
I'm going to
we're
stop my share.
excited because in January we're going to kick off our platform, right?
Yes.
And so we want you guys to stay tuned because Diginet is going to kick off a learning platform, an on-demand learning platform.
Yes, it's gonna be video on demand. It's a learning community where everything that I've talked about, we're going to be getting into that in depth, and we're going to be showing you the step-by-step mechanics of doing this for yourself. I really believe that there's nobody out there that can't do this. I mean, like this, you don't have to be the kind of person who can get a law degree to be able to do this. In fact, I know some people who are doing this and are extremely successful who I would almost say are disabled. Okay. Not because they're like, developmentally disabled, but they're just a bunch of idiots and they're doing this. They're succeeding. They're failing forward. Okay.
I like that. Failing forward.
They're failing forward. If this was 1970, this person wouldn't have even survived till 25, and they're an online millionaire. Okay, come on, because they knew one thing. All that they knew was they're giving an audience what it wants. It just is amazing to me. So many clients that I have. Okay, the clients that I have that don't really bust out and make great things with this are clients that insist on giving the audience what it thinks they want. Okay. Versus reaching out the audience. And it's kind of like, okay, let's talk about our parents. Okay. We're running out of time, but let's talk about our parents, right? My mom, okay, I'm Filipino. Okay. For those of you wondering what I am, okay, I am Filipino. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's some comments down there. Was this a Native American guy? No, is he Mexican? No. Okay. So I'm Filipino, and I come from my both on both sides. We come from, so the Philippines is a poor place, right? There's a really huge difference between people who have and people who don't have, right?
Okay.
My family is educated. My mom's a dietitian. Her side of the family is all in medicine. My father is a banker, was a banker, retired now. And my mom's vision, her idea of what the Philippines is a bunch of highly educated people. My mom doesn't see the poverty at least she does. She might see it now because they spend time there retired, right? But my mom always thought the Philippines was people like her. She didn't understand like the level of poverty that was there, the low levels of education. She always thought that the country was just like she was, right?
Mm.
And that's the problems that people get in business. People create businesses to service themselves and not the markets that they really want to service, because all these business people think that they represent the markets, that they truly do, right? But they don't, right?
Mm.
Um, they need to get out there into the market and find out what the market wants and deliver that, not what they think the market wants.
Okay.
Anyway, we're soapboxing again. Let me get off that little soapbox. Sorry about that. I've hijacked that section.
Oh, no, it's okay. So we are going to be launching out. In the meantime, if anyone's listening, how should they reach out to us in order to get more information about uh, what we're going to launch in January?
Okay. Right now, okay, so the site is being built out. It's live, but it shouldn't be live because I'm really thinking with it. But they can email me directly,
Okay, so I'm going to put your
and
email.
I've got a ton of emails, but the one that I want them to email me at is A as in Apple, P as in Paul, SANTOS.
Let me go. More information or inquiries. Inquiries. How about that?
Inquiries. There we go. Yeah.
Inquiries. Let's spell it right. Is email or what is it? AP Santos.
AP Santos at diginetcorp.com.
So DIG
ENET. It stands for
ENET.
Entrepreneurship Network.
Okay.
Diginet
Corp.com.
Corp. CORP.com. Or is
Okay.
this gonna pop into the comments, or is it gonna pop
It
onto
is going to
the
pop into the comments right this minute,
There it
right
is.
there on the right side.
Look at
There
it.
you go.
That is
So
correct.
those are the
Diginet.
inquiries. And so, guys, this is Armand and I, about 3 years ago, we were having workshops every week because we really want to help you become that digital entrepreneur. And so we're going to show you how to go about doing that. Um, this is the guru right here. The guy knows how to make money
That word.
the guru. He knows how to make money online, and so we want to make sure that you change your business. And we're sitting in front of our computer, so we might as well be making money while we're sitting here.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, when we first started this a couple years ago, Armand, I had just started. I hadn't even started my garden yet, but since that time, I've started my garden. I have probably close to 3,000 images that I've been taking of the garden from the inception to the now. And so I can't wait to get started with my platform so that I can really start to generate revenue. And then there's something else I was interested in, and I was gonna have two. I can't remember what the other one was, but this one I definitely am looking
Wasn't
forward
tennis,
to.
was it?
Wasn't tennis, but it could be tennis. It could be tennis. It could be our online, our business. Oh, I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the podcast
Mm.
and I'm going to create a blog that's specifically to that relate to the podcast, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and that way I can sell affiliate products with books that we refer to and all kinds of things. So I'm really excited. Come January, I'm making my new plan for 2022. I want you guys to join us so that you can also make your plan for 2022. And 80 something percent of or those numbers you were talking about, 7 digits, 6 5
It's out there. It's possible.
$1 million, that's game changing.
You can scale a business that you start up for less than $500 into a seven-figure business. It's no other environment exists that you can do that. That's why I'm 100% putting my efforts online nowadays. I mean, the real world can just, it can just go crawl away. I'm online. I'm online.
Well, I'm joining you because I want to make more and work less.
That's
That's
right.
what I want to do. So I see this, and I'm gonna go through the steps myself So I want you guys all, and especially those that are tuned in and those that's going to tune in as I market out this platform. This is digital entrepreneurship on how to make money online that can really be a game changer for your daily business and generate far more money than I think you could make with your limited resources or your
Yep.
limited staff. um you can't do this with a small staff. You
Yeah.
can't do this in a limited capacity, but you could make that kind of money doing and creating content. And if any of us have been in business for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years, we got content that you can. I got
Yeah.
540, 60 something videos in my
Yeah.
archive on YouTube from the inception of the business zone to now. So
And
converting that.
beyond that, if you don't have content, don't be despondent if you don't have content. Part of what we'll be going over in the community is how to generate content without having to break a sweat about how to do it. Right? We can
Okay.
show you quite easily how to generate unlimited amounts of content. It's just amazing. I'm excited about it. So we're
So
gonna.
we want you guys to get excited. And Armand, I want to thank you so much for sitting in for Gilbert. This is going to be awesome. He and I were excited about this 2 years ago. I'm really excited because now we've actually created a digital platform for it, and he's been working hard at it. So now we want to share it with you guys, and so you will be. Stay tuned if you want more information about this. Email Armand Santos, and let me put his name here so you'll know who he is. He's absolutely awesome. He is my digital entrepreneur guru. So hopefully, I'll share him with you guys, but just a little bit.
I'm being let out of my box.
I'll share him with you, but you got to come over to the platform to really get full access to him.
There we
So
go.
there
Oh,
you
there we
go.
are.
There you go,
Perfect.
Armand Santos. So he's a digital consultant, and we are excited. So with that, guys, we're down to our last few minutes, and we want to thank you so much for tuning into the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We broadcast live every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. To 4:30 ish. You
Ish.
can ish, and you can go over to the Business Zone on YouTube, and I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get notification every week on when we're going to broadcast. You will be able to see it on our website. So you can go over to our website, the Business Zone with CrystalandGilbert.com. You can go to our Facebook page, to our LinkedIn page. We are there, all that information, and you can find us there with our contact information. Gilbert, get well. We want to see you come back
Yes,
here
Robert.
really soon. And Armand, again, thank you so much for all of your vast knowledge and sharing it with our community. So, with
Thanks for
that,
having me.
guys, oh, you're so welcome. With that, guys, we're going to um, end the show. So, have a great week. Be safe. Make sure you continue to mask up. We are not out of the pandemic by no means. And as a reflection of that, Gilbert has COVID. So, be safe, guys. Take care of your families. Get your vaccination, not for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, and for your community. So I am Crystal Mitchell. We are signing off, and we will see you next Friday. Have a great weekend, and be safe.
Thanks, guys.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.